So it's been a week or so since I posted about Bitcoin, but today we had Bitcoin dip into the low of December, or this is also a monthly fair value gap high for a monthly institutional order flow entry drill. I'll get into that in a moment, but we dipped into the liquidity pool, the huge liquidity pool below all of this. These numbers are a little bit off than this just because I adjusted it. This was a little bit lower, so don't mind it. But basically, we also dipped into the weekly fair value gap right here. But before all that, before today's price action, um, we have basically in the past week or so, Bitcoin reach into this weekly order block and then just barely nick or barely miss the 50% of the weekly order block to then collapse down into the week to the low of December or the monthly fair value gap high and then just retrace back up. So real quick, price Bitcoin was, I think this was the candle it was at when I posted about it last time, and I was saying something like a little bit halfway into the video or whatever, but I was saying if we tap into this daily inversion fair value gap, we might see some sort of move, reactionary move, whether it's a consolidation or a meltdown, something like that. I had mentioned that if we tap into this, we might see a move that is not bullish, and that's kind of obviously what we got. So it's nice to see, but we tap into the daily inversion fair value gap in line with the weekly order block level that I'm showing you guys. So we tap into the daily inversion fair value gap. We have a nice little collapse down into essentially this daily order block level that I've been talking about for a little while. So the 50% and the rejection block of it, if you draw it out in time, we kind of went down into that and then come back up into this daily fair value gap for a daily institutional order flow entry drill, danced around it, tapped the daily fair value gap low, created some buy side liquidity. Then today, taking out the buy side liquidity from the past 1, 2, 3 days and above this high as well, tapping into the untapped portion of the daily fair value gap, and also the 50% of the daily fair value gap to then collapse down into the sell side liquidity pool from the past 40 days or so. And then we took it out, and then we had a nice rejection back up for a 4 or 5 thousand move, something like that, $4 or 5 thousand, something like that on Bitcoin. But just real quick, you know, boom, nice 4,000 move. We're obviously going to come back up into these highs, it seems like, and then I think we're off to the races to maybe make new highs. We might, I don't know, I guess we'll see, right? Because like if you look at this monthly level right here, it's exactly what we have right here. We have a monthly fair value gap high, monthly fair value gap high, and then Bitcoin tapped into it for the first time and it came back up. And then for like 6, 7 months, kind of did its thing. We might see a rejection away really quick. We might see it dance around for another few more months, few weeks, something like that, and go up. There's many different scenarios, but right now we're definitely still overall bullish. So keep that in mind. Um, Levels of support can be things like this 4 hour fair value gap, inversion fair value gap. That can be a level of support for buys, and this level as well. You can be a buyer at these levels and then take them up into buy side liquidity and so on. So Ethereum monthly time frame, we dipped into the monthly fair value gap for a monthly institutional order flow entry drill. Okay. Um, but weekly time frame, we dipped into the weekly order block, collapse into the monthly fair value gap, taking out sell side liquidity, and then real quick, daily time frame. It's at the weekly order block was a daily fair value gap low with the white line displacement to the downside, taking out the sell side liquidity from the past little while into the monthly fair value gap for the monthly institutional order flow entry drill right here. So we have a move back up. So we'll see what happens on Ethereum. Same thing. We haven't made new highs yet, but overall bullish. The overall structure and overall support level for Ethereum is this monthly fair value gap and the 50% of it. So, you know, I don't know. Nobody knows how quick or how fast or when it's going to go and create new highs and all that kind of stuff. But you can use this daily fair value gap level as a support level if we get above it to enter buys. So kind of like, get above it, tap into it, and then, enter your buy, something like that. But overall, we're going to be bullish and then just be mindful of higher time frame PD arrays and 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, especially 4 hour fair value gaps, inversion fair value gaps that you can be using to take buys off Ethereum and Bitcoin. And that's pretty much it.